Right, so let's get on to, I'm going to start with a weekly forecast, which is a general reading for the whole of the week, starting from Monday, the 24th of February. Oh, already some cards have jumped out. I like to start with the influence of the week, and because two cards have jumped out, we're starting right there. So the influence of the week means these cards influence all of the cards that I'm pulling out. Here we have the Ten of Wands. So being mindful that, so this weekly forecast is asking you to be mindful of how much pressure we're placing on ourselves and how much is actually on our shoulders before we go ahead and do things. And here we have the Fool, which indicates new beginnings. So don't usually get two cards at once, but there you go. So in other words, what's influencing us this week is that we have opportunities for new beginnings, but to make sure that we've taken care of responsibilities before we step into the new. Otherwise, we're just going to end up falling off the cliff and down to the bottom. So let's start with Monday. What is the energy and that we can tap into for Monday? Monday, the 24th of Feb. Here we have Three of Swords. So it's not so much a warning card as much as we will be shown where we're not truly supported. So if we've been feeling a bit sort of uncertain about our environment, whether it's friends, colleagues, or whatever it is, if there's been something unsavory or toxic going on around it, it'll be finally exposed. We'll see it and it'll show itself. It's not always easy to face that sort of thing. However, once it is exposed, we can move on and heal from that. So anything that has been sort of building and building, we can feel it, but not really sure what's going on, it'll finally be exposed. So the energy there for that to be shown to us on Monday. This is Tuesday. This is a general reading for the week. So here we have, from that exposure comes the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands, that there's an upsurge of energy, upsurge of fire energy, of creative energy. So once we have the shock of Monday of, oh my gosh, this has been happening, I knew it. Then we have on Tuesday, okay, a lot of things are possible. What can I do with this energy? It's a bit scattered, pages are a bit scattered, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. What are we going to do with that? I'm placing the cards back on the deck because sometimes those cards like to turn up again. This is for Wednesday. Here we have the Seven of Swords. So again, it seems to me like the Seven of Swords represents secrecy and sometimes lies. So again, we've got this upsurge of energy to go out and be creative after a bit of a shock of, toxic environments. This says that sometimes those toxic environments or where it's been sort of secrecy and lies and so forth may actually head back into the shadow. So not everything will be fully healed. So again, it's not a warning, but just be mindful that to make sure that we're looking after ourselves, that not everything, just because it's shown up, not everything is going to be tucked away again. And it's also good to, when the Seven of Swords turns up, it's always good to just observe rather than jumping right in and saying, oh, do this and do that. Sometimes it's just good to sit back and have a bit of a watch and see what plays out before we jump in. So this is for our Thursday. So here's that change we're looking for. So all of that up and down at the beginning of the week is actually going to be, life is going to start shifting and changing. So obviously it looks like it was a bit of a clear out at the beginning of the week, energy to clear things out, energy to show up where there's been some secrecy and some lies. Sometimes those toxic things might go back into the dark, into the corner, but we have an upsurge of energy and now everything can start changing. So that's on Thursday. Let's have a look at Friday. Shuffle. Friday says, solid foundations. This is where we take charge. If you have the energy and you have the capacity to take charge, if you're not the person in charge, but somebody will come forward to be the authority around us. If we are in a space or position where we probably don't have all the power, that power will turn up, but it's a good power because the Emperor represents a father energy. And so it's guidance and support and looking after us and stability. So with all that upset at the beginning of the week, by Friday we have the stability that comes after the change. And so it's a bit of a shock at the beginning of the week, a bit of a shake up. So this is for Saturday. Oh, so we have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands represents that good things are now possible, good things are ready for us to step into, but we must tie up some loose ends in order to reach that good thing. So we feel stable. That means that we're moving forward. Remember, the Fool was there as an influence. It's time to move forward. Time to like new horizons. It just means tying up loose ends before we can get there. So all of those loose ends will be apparent. So whatever's in our face that says, you've got to fix it, like to fix this up, to tidy this up, let's move on. It won't be a secret what needs to be sorted out because it'll be right in our faces. That's all those waves saying, do it, do this, look at me, look at me. So this is Sunday. Here's that, look at that, top of the world. So when we get over, so by Sunday, we getting over the shock of some things that we didn't realize were actually toxic around us. Still a bit of energy to, like we make space to create, and then time changes. And with that comes stability, the ability to move on from that. It gets shown what needs to tidy up so we can move forward. And here we have prosperity. We feel where we allow wealth to come in, whether that's actual money, whether that's actually health, whether that means that we feel much richer in our lives, especially with those swords at the beginning. That's energy leaking out, and now we've sort of stopped all of those leaks, and now we can feel strong and stable and secure, and to be out like it's a positive thing to be able to build a solid future. So this week, I guess it means we're getting rid of a lot of the stuff that's been sort of sucking our energy out, and by the end of the week, we'll feel stable and actually quite prosperous. And not only that, but healthy and wealthy. So this is the sole purpose of this week. What is the bigger picture of why we're going through these things, so that we have a bigger picture understanding about the ups and downs of this week? And the card we have, who's turned up again, told you, it's about building personal wealth. So in order for us to be, when I say personal wealth, that means wealth of health, wealth of money, wealth of relationships, wherever it is that we can personally thrive and feel like that we have achieved something. That's what this energy of this week is all about. That's what we're working towards as a bigger picture. So that's the weekly forecast for week commencing February 24, 2025. So all of those cards are now back in the deck.